Whether you run large trucks and equipment or just drive a car, you'll want to hear about this time-tested product just released to the public by My Daily Choice. You've probably heard about many products that claim to make an improvement to your vehicle, but there's nothing that comes close to doing what this product does, especially for as little as it costs. It's called Fuel Factor X, or FFX for short. It's been used around the world by large industrial companies for about 3 decades, saving them millions of dollars and preventing hours and hours of downtime. Let's explore what it does by showing you some examples of how large industry has been benefiting from this product. And then we'll show you how it's able to do it and how you can personally benefit from it. Fuel Factor X has 4 main benefits and several smaller benefits. The first main benefit is that it dramatically increases the life of your engine and the length of time you can go between services and repairs. FFX is used by the largest mining company in the world, and it has been for years. After they started using this product in their huge dump trucks, they were able to extend the operating hours between engine repairs from 15,000 to 25,000 hours, continually saving the company millions of dollars. There are documentations and test results available. The second main benefit is that it increases fuel economy. In 2002, during the pre-Olympic events in Salt Lake City, one location had some 3,000 kilowatt generators. These stationary generators were using 875 gallons of diesel fuel per day. After using Fuel Factor X for just 1 week, the fuel consumption went down to 650 gallons of fuel per day. This was a saving of 225 gallons of fuel each day. Documentation is available. Main benefit number 3 is that it increases horsepower and improves performance. Many trucks are finding it easy to carry their loads up steep grades. One trucking company using the product not only went from an average of 5.0 to 5.7 miles per gallon in their trucks, a 14% improvement, but they were able to top some very prominent hills in Interstate 15 with 1 more gear than before. Again, documentation is available. The fourth main benefit is that it substantially reduces emissions. Many times, you can see a visual reduction in emissions or maybe notice that the smoke is becoming whiter. Just look at the visible difference in the pollution from this smokestack after using the product. This independent test shows a 42% reduction in carbon monoxide levels, a 44% reduction in underburnt hydrocarbons, a 7% reduction in carbon dioxide levels, and the oxygen levels were increased by 5%. Sound a little too incredible? Everything about Fuel Factor X is documented and tested. It is absolutely the most effective product available, not only for diesel, but also for gasoline, which is why My Daily Choice is bringing this product from industrial marketplace to your fuel tank. There are other benefits of FFX that we haven't even talked about yet. Those are best shown by explaining why FFX works so well. Here's how it works. FFX has several components that all work together to bring you these amazing benefits. Let's quickly break them down. A very prominent component in FFX is a unique organometallic burn rate modifier. This works to lower the ignition point of the fuel by several hundred degrees. That's important because it causes the fuel to start burning sooner and provides more complete, longer, and better burn in your engine. If your fuel waits for that high temperature to fire and it burns too hot or too fast, it ends up leaving a good portion of the fuel unburned and wasted on emissions. That unused fuel could have provided more power and better mileage. FFX lowers the ignition point, utilizing much more of the injected fuel, allowing for full performance and dramatically reduces the emissions that come out. FFX also contains lubricating agent, which provides lubrication for pistons, fuel pumps, and injectors, reducing friction, which can be your engine's worst enemy. There's also a fuel stabilizer. Once fuel is made, just like any oil-based product, it has a tendency to begin to break down. As it breaks down, it loses some of its efficiency. FFX stabilizes the fuel, keeping this breakdown from happening for much longer periods of time, giving your stored fuel a significantly longer shelf life, even for years longer. This is especially important for storage containers, generators, boats, and other seasonal equipment that may hold fuel for an extended period of time. Now, anytime you put liquids and metals together at oxidation, heat, and condensation, you are bound to get rust and corrosion. This is exactly what happens in your fuel tanks. However, FFX contains rust and corrosion inhibitors to minimize corrosion in fuel tanks and delivery systems. Just look at the difference between these engine valves with treated fuel and without. As you may know, modern high-tech engines functions very precisely, and there's little to no room for even a tiny particle of dust or dirt without impacting performance. FFX contains detergents that keep your engine clean and remove harmful deposits from fuel pumps and injectors, keeping your engine running at peak performance. See the difference with this fuel injector before and after Fuel Factor X. Even though your fuel tank is sealed between condensation and the oxidation process, you can't avoid getting water in your fuel. Just look at this actual example of diesel fuel taken from a storage tank. There is serious separation and water accumulation. Water can be very harmful and costly to an engine, and it can also be a major contributor to fuel injector failure. FFX contains a demulsifier, which helps remove water from fuel. Another problem that plagues engine is sludge buildup, which inhibits performance and clogs filters. FFX contains a polymerization retardant and dispersants to help prevent and reverse sludge buildup in your fuel. This is especially important in diesel fuel. As you can see, FFX packs an incredible amount of benefits into one small concentrated dose. With Fuel Factor X, you only need 1/4 ounce to treat up to 20 gallons of fuel. In order to get these same benefits with store-bought fuel additives, you will need to buy much larger quantities of many different products, spending almost 20 times more money.
As you said, I own a tire and automotive center. I've owned it since 1984. In 2008, one of my friends came to me and said, "Dale, I got a fuel additive that I'd really like you to try, and I think you can sell to your customers." And I was a little reluctant at the beginning because I've seen a lot of fuel additives and most of them didn't do what I thought they should do. But he's my friend, so I said, "All right, I'll try it." Well, before I was going to let my customers see it or use it, I was going to use it myself. So I put it in my truck. And in a period of 4 tankfuls of fuel, I went from 16.0 miles per gallon to 19.2. And I said, okay, I think I got something here. So I started selling it to my customers and they loved it. They loved it. And over time, we sold hundreds and hundreds of bottles to my customers and they became repeat customers. And it's been great that way. About a week and a half after I started selling it, the guy that introduced it to me came to me and said, you can also build a team of salespeople with this. This is a network marketing situation. And I said, I'm looking for something else that I can do. I like challenges, so let me give it a try. Well, I couldn't believe what happened. I started telling a few of my friends about it, who told a few of their friends, who told a few of their friends. It leapfrogged the Atlantic and got into Africa, got into Europe, got into Eastern Europe. Jumped through the Caribbean down into South America. The next thing I knew, I had distributors all over the world, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. And so when I was all said and done, I think at my peak I had almost 28,000 distributors in about 62 countries, and it just took a life of its own. So that's what it did for me back in the day when the price of fuel was high. Then the price of fuel dropped and we lost a little momentum on it. And now we have it through MDC. We have a new push off for it. We have the highest fuel prices we've ever seen. And I'm ready to rock and roll this again. And I'm going to say to all my friends around the world, get ready because I'm coming.
Has the spike in gas prices hit you hard? Do you miss the good old days of drives without the fear of going broke? But what if you can do it all again without any fear of running out of fuel or paying more for it? That's why we're presenting you the Fuel Factor X. It's an advanced fuel treatment solution developed on a formula containing multiple ingredients like lubricants, detergents, organometallic compounds, demulsifiers, and many more. And with the combination of such rich products, Fuel Factor X will help you drive further, save more, and protect the planet at the same time. Fuel Factor X is scientifically proven to reduce carbon emissions, enhance performance, improve fuel economy, and increase engine life. Yes, you heard that right. With Fuel Factor X, you'll save up to 20% on fuel prices and drive extra miles with less harm to the environment. Why stop using fuel when you can use it smarter? Sounds perfect? Text GAS to 833-707-3529 and get your Fuel Factor X today. Again, pick up your phone now and text GAS to 833-707-3529. Follow the prompts and get Fuel Factor X ASAP.